Hi YouTube, and this is JTrain997, back with another figure review. Now this is my DC Direct Showcase presents Jonah Hex. Now, I have always had this figure. A very big fan of Jonah Hex, as if you haven't been able to tell by the multitude of videos that have gone up in excitement for the movie. Now this figure came out a little over a year ago, I think. You can see his picture there on the side from the cover of Weird Western Tales. He comes with his hat, 2 Colt Dragoons, and a showcase base. On the back of the box, you can see Batgirl, Superman, and Hawkman, as well as the rest of the figures. Now, it says, Jonah Hex is a little bit, says, one of comics' most famous Western warriors, Jonah Hex's gunslinging expertise was often based on the art of Tony Dzuniga, D-E-Z-U-N-I-G-A. I cannot pronounce that. I apologize if I'm pissing anyone off. Yeah, so, obviously based off the showcase book, which collected the Weird Western Tales, which was Jonah's precursor before he got his own series. Love this figure. Let's pull him out of the box. And here he is out of the box. Well, technically out of the box, I actually have 2 of these guys. No, they are not for trade. I am a big fan, so I bought one to keep in box, one to take out of box. Okay, so you're going to notice that he's on this little base here. That's actually my biggest problem with the figure. That is not his base. This is his base. You'll notice that it's completely flat surface. You basically take a little pin, push it through, and then put Jonah on it. And Jonah's foot being there is what actually keeps the pin in place and keeps Jonah on the base. This is a horrible design that works out terribly. I lost that little pin within the first 5 minutes of screwing with it, and was left with a plain old base. The base I actually have him on is a, it's from a Bash the Stampede figure that I had as a kid that has now since been destroyed. But the base is still there, and it has a steer skull and shell casings, some rocks. Very Western base. So on to the actual figure. You'll see his hat. The hat actually has some really nice detail on it. Okay, so I have him holding both his pistols. Now, his pistols fit decently in his hand. For some reason, this one wants to droop now. It doesn't do that usually. There we go. Now, one big thing about it, I'm going to pull them both out, is that while this hand has a finger out to go through the trigger guard, this hand does not. Which I would have liked to have Jonah holding both his pistols, which is, as you saw when I first had the video on, he can do. It's just, it doesn't stay as well as I'd like it to. There's the detail on the pistols. You'll notice this little part here is snapped. That is not any flaw of the figure, that is my fault. In moving, I had it in a box, and due to the pressure of another figure on it, snapped. Other than that, these are great figures. Revolvers go in and out of his hand easily. He only has one holster, unfortunately. His gun belt is a soft plastic, movable. It just goes down in there. You can keep one in his hand, one in the holster. Or as according to the back of the box, they say for you to stick one down in his belt like that. Which does look kind of cool, but it's just not something I'm really interested in doing. So, let's get him standing real quick. And let's go on to the big part, the scar. As you can see there, they actually did the scar very well on this figure. His overall, the side of his face isn't damaged, which was unfortunate, but the overall sculpt is great. They really got the damage. They got some drooping on the eye. And I think they did a great job overall. Not the best they could have done, much like the movie, but still a really fantastic job. As you can see all the detail down him. Really an all-around great figure. His hat has some issues with staying connected, but once it's there, it's going to stay. Just got to kind of prop it on. So when this figure came out, I think he was $15 when he first came out. Now on eBay, I think you can get him with shipping for $20 if you can't find him at your local comic shop. Now, if you're a Jonah Hex fan and you haven't already gotten him, I highly recommend picking him up. He's a great figure, and he's just all around a fantastic one to have. There he is on the base. Can't really see him. Oh, I forgot to go over his articulation. Pull him off the base real quick. Like I said, the hat does have some issue staying on. Arms go out, bend at the elbow, wrist joint, rotate, 360 degrees. Same for both arms. Head has the standard range of movement. Legs are a little hindered by the coat, but not too much. They go back and forth, not out. And bend at the knee, same for both legs. So overall, a good figure. An absolutely terrible base, so if you buy it, already expect to have to replace the base, which is disappointing. I didn't buy any of the others from this line. I just bought it because he's Jonah Hex, and he's one of my favorite characters. So, I'd give this guy a very positive 8.5 out of 10, if not a 9. No, I'll stay with it, 8.5. His articulation's a little limited. Like I said, the trigger guard problem was my problem, not the figures. He could have had more than one holster. Like the sculpt, only real problem I had was the base. So this is JTrain997. Jonah Hex gets an 8.5 out of 10, and I'll see you soon, YouTube.